Every year the same cycle unfolds before our eyes. Flowers bloom in spring, long sunny days arrive in summer, golden leaves fall in autumn, and winter covers the world in silence. It feels so natural that most people never stop to ask the question, why does Earth even have 4 seasons? At first glance, the answer might seem obvious. Many believe that the seasons happen because Earth is closer to the sun during summer and farther away during winter. It sounds reasonable. But in reality, that explanation is completely wrong. In fact, Earth is closest to the sun in early January, right in the middle of the northern hemisphere's winter. And it's farthest from the sun in July, during the height of northern summer. So distance cannot be the cause. The difference in distance is just a small fraction of Earth's orbit, far too little to explain the dramatic changes between summer heat and winter cold. The true reason is one of the most important facts about our planet. Earth's axis is tilted. Instead of spinning perfectly upright, Earth leans at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. That small tilt creates massive consequences. Because of this tilt, one hemisphere of Earth is always angled toward the sun while the other leans away. When the northern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, the days are long, the sun climbs high in the sky, and sunlight strikes more directly. That's why we have summer in the north. At the very same time, the southern hemisphere is tilted away, with shorter days and weaker sunlight, creating winter there. 6 months later, the situation flips completely. This cosmic geometry is what gives us spring and autumn as well. Those transition periods when Earth's tilt is in between, and the length of day and night become nearly equal. These equinoxes and solstices mark the great milestones of the yearly cycle, celebrated by cultures for thousands of years. Scientists believe this tilt was not always there. Billions of years ago, a massive collision with a Mars-sized body struck the young Earth. The impact knocked our planet into its tilted position and threw debris into orbit, which eventually formed the Moon. Without this cosmic accident, Earth might not have seasons at all. Life on our planet, and human history itself, could have been unimaginably different. Seasons are not just an astronomical curiosity. They are the framework on which all of life on Earth depends. Every plant, every animal, and every human society has been shaped by the steady rhythm of change brought by spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Spring is the Great Awakening. After the long silence of winter, the world begins to breathe again. Seeds hidden in the soil burst to life. Trees push out their first leaves, painting the land with fresh green. Animals give birth to their young at a time when food will once again be abundant. Birds return from migrations that span continents, filling the skies with sound. Insects, flowers, and entire ecosystems explode into activity. Without spring, the cycle of renewal that sustains life would break down. Summer is the season of plenty. The sun stands highest, days stretch long, and energy floods the earth. Plants grow rapidly, fruits ripen, and animals fatten themselves for the times ahead. For humans throughout history, summer was the most crucial season. It meant long days of hard labor in the fields, storing crops and building supplies to survive the coming winter. But it also meant celebrations, festivals, and joy, a recognition that life's abundance had reached its peak. Even now in our modern world, summer remains the season of travel, freedom, and energy. Autumn is transition. Temperatures drop, daylight fades, and leaves turn gold and crimson before falling. Trees pull their nutrients inward, saving energy for survival. Animals gather food, build dens, or prepare for migration. For humans, autumn was always the harvest season, the time to gather everything the land provided before the cold set in. Thanksgiving, harvest festivals, and wine celebrations are cultural echoes of humanity's deep bond with this time of year. Autumn reminds us that change is coming and that nothing lasts forever. Then comes winter, the hardest of all. Days grow short, nights long and bitterly cold. Food becomes scarce, and survival depends on preparation. Many animals hibernate, slipping into deep sleep to wait out the harsh months. Others travel vast distances to find warmer lands. Plants rest in dormancy, seeds hidden beneath snow waiting for spring. For humans, winter was once a season of trial. Families relied on the grain in their stores, the wood they had gathered, and the community's strength. Yet even in the darkest times, people found light. Winter festivals, solstice rituals, Saturnalia, Christmas, all traditions created to bring warmth and hope during the coldest, darkest days of the year. The fascinating part is that seasons look very different depending on where you are on Earth. In the tropics, where the sun's angle changes little, there are not 4 distinct seasons, but rather wet and dry periods. In the polar regions, seasons are extreme, endless daylight in summer and months of unbroken night in winter. But in the temperate zones, Europe, Asia, North America, the 4 seasons stand out most clearly. And it is in these regions that human civilization was born. Agriculture grew directly from the rhythm of the seasons. The first farmers had to know when to plant, when to harvest, and how to prepare for winter. They studied the skies, tracked the sun and moon, and created calendars. Ancient monuments like Stonehenge in Britain, the pyramids in Egypt, and Mayan temples in Central America were aligned with solstices and equinoxes. They were not only places of worship, but also giant astronomical clocks. This knowledge gave humans the ability to plan ahead, store food, and survive winters. And that ability is what allowed cities, writing, and civilization itself to rise. Without the seasons, humanity's entire story would look completely different. The story of the seasons reaches far beyond the yearly cycle we see in nature. It connects to the very mechanics of our planet and even the deep history of the cosmos. The 23.5-degree tilt of Earth's axis may seem like a small detail, but without it, our world would be unrecognizable. Imagine Earth standing perfectly upright. No tilt. In that case, there would be no spring, no autumn, no great shift between summer and winter. The tropics would remain eternally hot, the poles eternally frozen, and the middle latitudes, where most people live, would experience a dull, unchanging climate. Life would still exist, but it would be far less diverse. Entire ecosystems that rely on seasonal changes, like migratory birds or forests that shed leaves, would never have developed. Now imagine the opposite, a greater tilt, say 40 degrees instead of 23. Summers would become brutally hot, even in areas that are now mild. Winters would be long and harsh, stretching far into regions that are currently fertile. Civilizations might have been forced to constantly migrate, chasing survivable climates, or perhaps they would never have risen at all. What keeps Earth's tilt steady is our moon. Without it, the gravitational pull of other planets, especially Jupiter, would cause Earth's axis to wobble chaotically. Seasons would swing unpredictably, shifting climates violently over short timescales. The moon acts as Earth's stabilizer, keeping the rhythm of the seasons reliable for billions of years. In a very real way, the moon made complex life possible and gave us the seasonal cycle we take for granted. Even with the moon, though, Earth's tilt is not fixed forever. Over thousands of years, the axis slowly wobbles like a spinning top in a movement called precession. Combined with small changes in Earth's orbit and tilt angle, this creates Milanković cycles, long-term patterns that drive ice ages and warm periods. The seasons we know today are just a moment in a much larger, ever-shifting cosmic rhythm. But the seasons are more than science. They shape us emotionally, culturally, and spiritually. Our moods rise with the long days of summer and sink with the darkness of winter. Cultures built entire traditions around solstices and equinoxes. Artists, poets, and musicians turned the cycle of seasons into a symbol of human life. Spring as birth, summer as youth, autumn as maturity, and winter as rest. So the next time you see the first flowers of spring, feel the heat of a summer day, walk through falling autumn leaves, or watch snow cover the ground in winter, remember this: all of it is the result of a cosmic tilt, aviolent impact billions of years ago, and the quiet guidance of the moon. The 4 seasons are not just about weather. They are the pulse of Earth, the heartbeat of life itself, and one of the greatest gifts of the universe. If this journey inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. Just as Earth needs the sun, this channel needs your support to keep shining light on the mysteries of our world.